Hey guys, what's going on? It's Carl here, back with another episode, and as you can see, we are still here at Apple campus. Today's episode is all around the iPhone 11 Pro. This is the flagship. We obviously heard the announcement of the iPhone 11. We've got Apple Watch Series 5, links of course in and around this video, but now we are gonna talk about the phone which I've been dying to upgrade to as I'm coming from the XS Max. And this video is all about the color differences. We finally have a brand new color scheme coming to the high-end iPhone. More specifically, midnight green, and it's actually very close to the space gray. You really have to notice that when light shines upon it, and I actually confused myself inside of the keynote area, didn't know which phone I was holding sometimes because it's just that slight hint of green. It's subtle, it's beautiful, it's something that you'd see on the Pro-end models, whereas of course the iPhone 11, that's the mass spectrum of the other colorways that you get. I think out of all of the options, I'm still a fan of the gold. I had, of course, the XS Max in gold, but this year around, you have to get the new colorway, guys. Go for, of course, the midnight green, unless you just want to be standard. Space gray, tried and classic, all black everything. The silver, it has more of a white finish on the back. The gold, which kind of reminds me of a champagne back, and of course that deep midnight green. I'll almost call that black because it's very close. Let me know which one of those you'd get down below in the comments. I wish YouTube had a poll system. I think they do actually. They do. In the corner, I'm gonna create a poll. Let me know what color you guys would get. The key difference, of course, in screen sizing is 5.8 inches just for the 11 Pro. Over on the Max, we have 6.5 inches. So that's the same dimensions coming from, say, last year's XS Max. Also new to the design of the back on the Pro models is the actual finish. So we traditionally have had a very glossy finish on most iPhones, but this time around they've changed it to a matte finish, which I'm actually a big fan of. When I held them side by side, you really notice the difference in texture material. And the last thing, of course, on the back of the new Pro models is the camera. For the first time, we finally have a triple lens setup on an iPhone. I know that every Android device has had it forever, but now we have, of course, the standard wide, the telephoto that we saw from last year, / every model telephoto, and of course, the ultra wide. I am the biggest fan of ultra wide photography. You can get so many unique angles, and of course now are seamless between three of those lenses. You've got cinematic video stabilization, 4K 60 of course across the ranges, and this time on the front you do have two different focal ranges, so if you want to get all your friends in that selfie, and actually when you rotate the phone, that auto detects that the phone is turning, and that will enable a wider view. We also now have a new night sight mode, but more interestingly, Apple makes this automatic, so it's not exactly a mode that you can select. The camera will auto detect when there isn't enough light, and you can only choose to disable it. Curious to see how that stacks up against, say, the Pixel 3, soon to of course be the Pixel 4. Google usually has some of the best night camera modes. When you flip to the other side, you have the display, and we actually have upgrades coming to the Pro model as well. It's now called the Super Retina XDR display, and that takes its name from, of course, the Pro Display XDR coming over on the Mac lineup. It now gets up to 1200 nits of brightness, and that's one of the brightest displays that you'll see across any smartphone. You've still got the standard notch up top, of course, that contains that front-facing camera, Face ID, all of those sensors. It's interesting that Apple didn't slim those down. Say on the Note 10, we have the tiny cutout hole punch display. But I honestly think the biggest low-key announcement that should be getting more hype in my opinion is the battery life. And even though we don't have the exact milliamp hour breakdown, I'm sure iFixit will get right in there and let us know whether it's obviously a bigger battery or just increased software optimization. The Pro model now has 4 hours more than, say, the XS. The Pro Max gets 5 more hours than the XS Max, and I think that's a huge improvement. Pricing and availability, we're looking at $999 for the 11 Pro, $1099 for the 11 Pro Max. You can get your pre-orders this Friday. I believe that's 5 a.m. PDT, 5 a.m. here in Cali, so you get a couple more hours of extra sleep. Hope you guys enjoyed the 11 Pro coverage. Of course, tons of videos dropping of the Apple keynote, so make sure you subscribe. I hope to catch you guys in one of those next episodes, and I'll catch you in those ones. I'm rambling. It's been a long day. Catch you in the next episode. Peace.